Yeah, I think I have forgot to tell the drivers to make the setup. I'm gonna add Div1, allow time for setup, tires, recording the race. So whoever is watching this, please allow sufficient time for the setup load, for the tires, the correct tires usage, the recording of the race. It's telling me that there's already the countdown. Hopefully people had enough time to do it, but if not, well, yeah, it seems that hopefully. I'm checking the tires. Tommy TC has opted for the medium tires. So Tommy TC, if you're listening to the stream, you will need to pit on lap 1, otherwise you will have a full drive-through penalty from the stewards. Yeah, whoever was in below P10 and below, so from Council Wizard onwards, they could have opted for any tire, given that Swoosh Driver was in the top 10 and Council Wizard was initially in P11. So Tommy TC, if you're listening to the stream, you will need to pit end of lap 1 for a new set of tires. Yeah, it seems that there's 6-9 who's taking his time to form within the rest of the grid. So let's see. So one last reminder for Tommy TC, I have also written in the Discord just in case. You will need to pit on lap 1 and you will need to pit for soft tires, otherwise you will have a drive-through penalty from the stewards, automatic. So as we see the last couple of drivers who are forming up the grids, I hope that there would be a nice race, slightly delayed because of the glitch and for some drivers who were not early enough for the race, but we have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. Face MacBot gets a nice exit from there. Pokrasa following him into turn 2. Ooh, and Pokrasa pushed off track from Phase already. Yeah. Yeah, he will get it removed if asked. Definitely he will get it removed, and he has his tires very hot. He's spinning all over the place, unfortunately. What I noticed that FaZe MacBot pushed him a little bit outside from my point of view, but we will need to wait and see. In the meantime, where's Siege9? Siege9 is still in P5, Richard is in P4, Zeus is in P3, and Nigel in P2. FaZe MacBot is leading the race in P1. Yeah, so for Tommy it would be he won't get a penalty. So yeah, he's pitting and he's putting the softs as indicated. So, but he also has wing damage, so it was kind of he had to do it anyway. But yeah, BVB Ghost, Council Wizard, and Tommy has pitted for new set of tires, same as Cairo Racing. For the rest, Pokrasa is still out on track, and we have a spinner, I think, who's Gunsek in P11. We also have BVB Ghost who spun out again. Yeah, Facebook both currently surpassing the 1 second mark when it comes to the DRS, and we are seeing Zeus trying to make an overtake on the Tosa turn. Lovely overtake from Zeus, and Nigel sees the place to live for another day. And I think Nigel made the right move in my opinion, because the DRS is so strong here, and you need to be behind another driver in order to make a little bit of ground. And Zeus makes a mistake here, and Nigel takes back P2. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle between Nigel and Zeus, but at the same time Face McBot getting the time, the gap that he requires when it comes to other drivers not getting the DRS that they need from him. Yeah, he was trying to make the overtake, but it seems that Nigel positioned his car in an efficient way not to let Zeus make the overtake. Or maybe Zeus is just trying to harvest a little bit of ERS, and he will try to overtake Nigel in the subsequent lap. I have noted that Nigel already has his backside of the car blimping, meaning that there's less than 10% of ERS remaining on his car. And we have already Pokrasa who has left this session. Yeah, it seems that he has done it in the pits, but his car is still coming out. Hopefully it does no damage. So I'm just gonna follow the car, just in case. Oh, and Council Wizard has spun out. I think he has touched Pokrasa's AI. But we will need to wait and see. Ooh. And there's also Richard who's joining the party, so yeah, we'll need to wait and see about this battle. Oh, and we have another spinner. I believe that's Council Wizard though. Yeah, so he's a lapped car currently. Pokrasa's AI is still there, so if Pokrasa's following this stream, I think you have retired the wrong way. You can't leave the session while being on the pits. You either need to press the retire as you enter the pits, or you will need to park in a safe space and stop the car until you get disqualified. So this way, it was completely the wrong way to retire the car Pokrasa, and that would be noted by the stewards. Yeah. Council Wizard he's letting the other drivers lap him, I'm noticing. So that's... Ooh. Ooh, I missed it completely. That's unfortunate. But Richard is still... Oh, Ice One has retired from the session. I think he has spun out. So let's see, Sume. Yeah, from Sume's POV, it seems that out of turn 3, Ice One has spun the car and slammed it into the wall, having his car DNF'd. However, it seems that the safety car is not out yet, so we still business as usual for now. No safety cars, no VSCs, no anything of the sort, so we keep on racing. Yeah, I'm noticing Gunsek has gone into the pits and he has opted for the hard tires and has changed the wing, so he had wing damage. And I think that Gunsek will try to keep going until the end. Yeah, it seems to be. It's unfortunate for the driver that he was temporarily in P2. There's Suman P8 on those hard tires as well. He had to pit on lap 1 if not mistaken, or on lap 2. There's Dedalus in P7, King's Copper in P6. He hasn't pitted, just like Chapicho and 6-9, and they are all on the medium tires. So I believe that they are the big winners here, but 6-9 is the biggest winner of them all. He's still following Richard and Nigel along the way. So when he pits for new sets of tires, and I would presume that they would be the soft tires, he would have so much pace and tire advantage. Yeah, he's currently in P3. He's doing a great job when it comes to having a first impression in the Division 1. Ooh, Signan gets his first 3-second time penalty by cutting the turn 15 chicane, turn 16 chicane, my apologies. So yeah, he has the first 3-second time penalty. I believe that this track is this kind of track that it's so easy to get track invalidations and time penalties, and if you are not too cautious, you will get a lot of penalties, and that would mean it would lose you a lot of time and potential positions if there's a late safety car. It's possible. They are both on 8-lap old softs, Nigel and Richard. They are still within 1 second within reach. So they are, the three drivers, Nigel, Richard and 6-9 are still within reach. Oh, now Richard lost a little bit of time, but he's still just there for that 1 second gap. But yeah, by this time, lap 9, lap 10, and beyond that lap, the soft tires will really start to struggle. Yeah, it seems that Richard doesn't have the DRS, so that would be a big advantage for CX9. He's gaining heaps of time towards Richard, but at the same time, Richard is still trying his best to keep Nigel within reach, because he really needs that DRS in order to keep following Nigel and also defend from CX9. Yep, oh, that's unfortunate. Ooh. Nice, nice from CX9. I think Richard was struggling a little bit out of turn 14, 15. I was noticing him lap by lap that he was losing time from Nigel when it comes to those corners, and I believe that CX9 took full advantage after a slight mistake from Richard. So when you have mentioned Pokrasa, he left the session maybe because of the lap 1 incident. It's unfortunate, but at the same time you can just leave a server after you have one incident, you know. Just doesn't show the level of professionality, and that's very unfortunate, you know, because incidents do happen, and it's unfortunate, you know. You just can't leave a server because of one incident. But anyway, we move on, and I'm noticing that BVB Ghost had the car slightly spun. We had double yellows. Hopefully has no damage. He's currently in P11 on 7 lap old soft tires. Yeah, I would assume so. If you were the driver, Leon, if you were the driver, and if I had to ask you, what tire strategy would you opt for this? What would be your strategy? Yeah. VSC, alright. So it's perfect timing for for FaZe McBot in this case. Yeah, he lost slightly less time when it comes to the pits, and I'm noticing Chappy Cho, King's Copper, and of course FaZe McBot are in the pits. So Chappy Cho, King's Copper making that double stack. I believe they have a double stack, yep. So King's Copper is out, Chappy Cho is out as well, so I hope that they made the double stack work. They are both on the medium tires again, so I'm thinking that they are eventually going to yeah, eventually. So we're speaking about your kind of strategy. So what would be your strategy? Would it be a one stop? Would it be a two stop? All right. So I'm asking because I believe that there are a lot of drivers with different opinions when it comes to the tire strategy. And in my personal opinion, and this is only my personal opinion, and maybe because I really ace those usage of tires in an efficient way, I can do a one-stop. So for me, a one-stop strategy from medium to soft or soft to mediums is plausible. Yesterday I raced in the elite division, and what I did was that I pitted at the end of lap 19, and I was on the mediums. I was on old mediums. I started with the mediums because I started in P10, and I did 19 laps on those medium tires, and then I have put the softs, and we had a late safety car for which I stayed out because I had the tire advantage. So a one-stop strategy for me, it seems plausible, but I tend to agree with you. If you don't really, you really need to find the limit of those tires in order to make it stick. Otherwise, it would be a very, very hard strategy, a one-stop, and you would lose a lot of time if you don't use the tires efficiently. If you heat up the tires too much, if you have a slight spin, if you start making mistakes, you will lose a lot of tire wear, and that would mean it's easy to make a mistake and compromise your race. So a two-stop strategy is an efficient one, but you will really need to be the driver to watch in terms of the pace. So if I was CX-9, for example, and I know that CX-9 is a very pacey driver in this track, he might opt for the two-stop strategy. He might. Yeah, Nigel is on the 13 lap old soft tires. Now remember that we have started with a custom grid, so he had fresh soft tires. Maybe he's trying to go a little bit longer. I believe that he has done a little bit more than expected, so I would expect him to pit on this lap. We are in lap 15 out of 32, and I would expect him to pit this lap. I would have done so 2 laps earlier. So at the end of lap 13 I would have pitted for the mediums, and I would go till the end, because with less fuel the tire consumption and tire wear would be slightly lower. So maybe he's trying to have the freshest tire possible when it comes to the medium tires, and that would bring some advantage, or he's hoping for a safety car, maybe, we don't know. But at the same time we have CX-9 on those 14 lap old mediums, who is only 3/10 behind Nigel, and Nigel has no ERS to defend with. Where on the other hand CX-9 has 100% of ERS to spend. So that's the comparison. Yeah. Yeah, but it's only expected, of course, after 15 laps. So we are on the halfway mark of the race, and we expect Nigel to pit for those fresh mediums. He will have slight tire advantage, so when it comes to the degradation of the tires, but I think in terms of the undercut, certain drivers like Richard and maybe Sume, I don't know, they could overtake Nigel easily, but we will need to wait and see. In fact, Richard just makes the overtake. So he barely made it stick. Barely made it stick. Of course, Richard has pitted 2 laps earlier, so he has made the undercut work. On the other hand, Nigel has the tire advantage of 2 lap fresher medium tires. So it's going to be an interesting battle between these two as well. Yeah, we will need to wait and see. Of course, he will try his best, Nigel, to keep within that 1 second gap. He's still 6/10 behind, so he's still going to be within the DRS range, and yep, it's confirmed now. Nigel has 40% of ERS to spend, and I believe that he's gonna harvest it. He's still gonna follow Richard. On the other hand, Richard has 25% left to spend, and he's spending it in order to defend. So for Nigel, it's a plus-plus situation. Yep. Yep, Chappie Cho seems that he didn't pick up a penalty yet. King's Copper, his teammate, yes. Chappie Cho is he's still penalty free and he's still on those mediums. So kindly note, so something to know that Chappie Cho and King's Copper need to pit again. Maybe they are hoping for a safety car or something at this point. And they are still on the medium tires. They started on the medium tires, so they have pitted once and they didn't change the tires. So both of them need to so that's a good move for Nigel. Yep, he has the fresher tires, Face McBot. I'm not sure whether he's going to pit again. I don't know. If I was Face, I don't think that he needs to pit again, given the circumstances, unless a safety car occurs. Same applies for CX9 to an extent. Maybe he's hoping for a safety car right now because the soft tires can hold off 14 laps easily at this point, given the lower levels of fuel and newer tires. But yes, we will need to wait and see. From my experience, I have pitted on this lap, on lap 19 and the end of lap 19, in order to avoid the undercut. Ooh, Richard. Yeah, I think he's trying his very, very, very best to keep within the DRS range, Richard, and that's why he got the penalty, which he doesn't at the moment. But at the same time, Nigel only has 10% of ERS to mangle with. On the other hand, there's Richard with 35%. Oh, and we have a spinner who is Gunsak, I believe. Yep. Gunsak is in P13. Yep, shame. There's Pocarasa's AI in P11, so I would believe that we don't count his race result. In P10, BVB09 Ghost. Tommy in P9, despite the lap 1 forced pit stop, although he had wing damage. There's King's Copper in P8, and we have a double yellows, so that's probably BVB Ghost. There's P7 Chappie Cho, P6 Cairo Racing. Sume is in P5, so he's also, I don't think he's a promo. Oh, and commentator's curse right there. He just made a light spin. Ooh, unsafe rejoin on track there. Ooh, it was very close from Sume. Yeah, he's currently in P4 and only 2.6 seconds behind Richard. But he has a fresh soft tires. So undoubtedly he's going to be the faster guy until the end of the race. I would expect him to do the fastest lap. Yeah, basically, except for Council Wizard, for the rest of the grid, they are all within the points if they finish the race. So if another car retires from the race, it would be game on for the remainder of the grid. Of course, for those who are lapped, it's going to be a little bit difficult. For example, BVB Ghost, Council Wizard, and I believe Suman, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me see where Face MacBot is. So I don't believe that he's lapped yet. So Suman, yeah, he's just okay. Face MacBot being in P1 on those 8 lap old medium tires, Nigel in P2 on 4 lap. Yeah, it's going to be another interesting battle right here, so I'm going to follow these guys. Yeah, currently on board with CX9, and he's using the ERS as much as he can. I think he's trying to make the overtake now, but it's going to be very, very hard in this corner. It's so hard to make the overtake here. Ooh. Yeah, but also Richard has the DRS as well, so it's going to be very hard. But Richard doesn't have enough ERS. Nigel also doesn't have enough ERS. Maybe 2 overtakes. No, there's... Ooh, that's very, very close. And of course, CX9 had to cede his place because Nigel was on one part of the track and Richard was on the other part of the track. But now he has made 1 overtake. He has lost some time, of course, CX9, but better late than never, I think. And Nigel, ooh, they're going to get side by this turn. Ooh. So Nigel, it would be best for him to follow CX9 at this point. It was a nice move stuck by CX9. Ooh, I thought there was gonna be a crash in turn 2 between CX9, Nigel and Richard. They were all almost side by side. So it was nice battle. In the meantime, Nigel is still following CX9, so he's going to have DRS. So Nigel will be following, doing his best to follow CX9. Yep, it's going to be a little bit hard. I believe that in terms of penalties, CX9 has 6 seconds time penalty. Face MacBot only has 3. Nigel has none. So for Nigel, it's provisional P2 at the moment. Richard has 3-second time penalty, and so does Cairo Racing. Chepicho has no penalties. So maybe he's trying his best, Chepicho, in order to get within the range of P5, but Chepicho and King's Copper, who King's Copper has 6-second time penalty if not mistaken. Yep, they still need to pit. Chepicho and King's Copper still need to pit for softs. Maybe they are really praying for a safety car at the moment. And CX9 has pulled off the fastest lap with a 1 minute 16.865. My fastest lap was 1 minute 16.2, somewhere in that range yesterday, so I would say that he has a good pace on those soft tires. Yep. In the meantime, Nigel seems that he's losing a little bit of ground when it comes to CX9. He has another 3 seconds to spare and still get P2 because CX9 has 6-second time penalties to serve. Nigel is still only 2.2 seconds behind, so it's going to be interesting at the end of the race. Richard is in P4, still with 3-second time penalties. But he's losing ground to Nigel, unfortunately. Cairo Racing is 20 seconds behind Richard, but he still has 3-second time penalties to serve. So it's a little bit of a balance. For Cairo Racing, he's having a quiet race. Chapicho, still on those medium tires, 7.4 seconds behind Cairo Racing, followed by King's Copper, only half a tenth behind Chapicho, but he still has 6-second time penalties to serve. Oh, what happened? Literally, commentators curse again for King's Copper. As Chapicho was going to let his teammate go by, King's Copper literally lost the car and he has wing damage and he needs to pit. He still had to pit anyway, but yeah, King's Copper, unfortunate for him, he has spun out, but he's still in P7 and there's still a lot of time to be won. Tommy TC on those hard tires, I believe that he's going till the end of the race. He's currently in P8 and he's going to overtake King's Copper. Yeah, in the meantime, there's, I think, Siegs9 who's passing by, so he's lapping King's Copper in the process. Where there's Council Wizard, although he's lapped, King's Copper is basically almost lapping Council Wizard, but King's Copper is also lapped by the first two drivers, so Council Wizard is at least 2 laps behind. Still in P11, so that would be still respect for the guy that kept going on. Oh, and Sume retired. And it's a safety car, so Chapicho was hoping for this to happen. And he is in the pits, actually, he is in the pits. So Chapicho is just rubbing his hands right now on those fresh soft tires. Still not lapped by Face McBot, who is pitting. Siegs9, on the other hand, we will need to wait and see whether he's going to pit. If I was Siegs9, I wouldn't pit. Ooh, and he's pitting. Siegs9 is pitting. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think the safety car will pit at the start of lap 29, I think. Because the safety car is still letting other drivers pass. No, Face McBot is following the safety car. Oh, so that's a big plus for, I think even for King's Copper, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, for King's Copper, he's not following the safety car. So for King's Copper, he has just barely unlapped himself. So he's back within the lap range because Face McBot pitted and King's Copper didn't. So he saved himself from being the lapped car and his race kind of compromised. So he's still within the chance to rejoin the rest of the field. And in the meantime, let us remind the drivers that they need to keep that 1 second gap during the course of the safety car. Currently only the first 4 drivers are there, so, and they are keeping the 1 second gap. So yeah. So currently King's Copper is going full blast trying to reach the rest of the field. Chapicho, on the other hand, I believe that he's rubbing his hands right now because he was trying to expect the safety car to occur, and as soon as it happened, he literally dived into the pits and made the soft stop strategy work in his favor. But at the same time, there are also all the other drivers with the softs as well. So maybe not the best methods to do it, but at least he will get the opportunity to rejoin the rest of the field. And I believe the safety car will enter this lap. I hope. At the moment, and apologies to interrupt again, Leone, but I tend to get excited in these circumstances. But at the moment, it seems that Nigel is the provisional winner because he still has no penalties to serve after the race, while FaZe McBot and Siegs9 have 3 seconds and 9 seconds worth of time penalties, respectively. Yeah, and I'm noticing King's Copper is slowly reaching the remainder of the grid. Same for I think there's another driver. Same for Tommy. So Tommy has also unlapped himself, and that would be a big plus for Tommy as well. So safety car in this lap, and it's exact timing for Tommy, who has now rejoined the rest of the grid. Only King's Copper has two lap old soft tires and Council Wizard, and for the rest they are only with 0 laps or 1 lap old softs. So now the drivers are bunching up. Let's see what FaZe McBot decides to do. He's setting up the pace. Siegs9 still following. He's taking his time, and now he has just flown off. And we are green flags once again, with Siegs9 following FaZe McBot, Siegs9 followed by Nigel, followed by Richard, BVB Ghost, but he's the left car, I believe. So BVB Ghost would need to give space once again. But Cairo Racing is in P5. Ooh, and we have Siegs9. No, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so all eyes on Nigel right now. All eyes on Nigel. I think he will do his very best to keep himself within that 3-second time gap, unless FaZe gets another time penalty. So I'm just going to keep it within the penalties list, just in case. Yeah, he's losing time. Nigel is losing time. At the same time, Richard is going to make the overtake over Nigel. Nigel has to concede the place. He's still trying to make it side by side, but he's going to lose a lot of time if he's going to battle it. The same time, Cairo Racing has also overtaken Nigel. I hope that he doesn't have damage. Ooh. Yep. I hope he doesn't have damage. He doesn't seem to have damage. Maybe he had a contact with Siegs9. I don't know. But for Nigel, he only needs to keep within the range of these cars, at least to get that P2. And Siegs9 has 9-second time penalty, so that would demote him into P5. At the same time, Chappie Cho in P6 He has no penalties and probably might be promoted into P3 if he keeps up with the rest of the grid. And DRS is enabled. Yeah, he would have the Joker used, so yep, King Scope, I think he's trying to do the right thing, and I think he's trying to at least arrive, make it home, you know. But Chappie Cho and Nigel are the guys to watch at the end of the race, because I believe that they would be promoted P2 and P3 if they do not finish beyond 3 seconds of Cairo Racing. Currently they are 2 seconds behind Cairo Racing, and Chappie Cho is 3 seconds, so Chappie Cho might just lose out of this. Cairo Racing is following Richard, and I think he's doing his best to overtake Richard, because he would need to get that gap, at least from Nigel. And he's trying to go for it, side by side into turn 2, into the chicane, and Richard sees the place. And 6-9 is also following Richard. Yeah. Ooh, 6-9 is trying his best to overtake Richard. He's doing his very, very best. Ooh, no, and he has pushed Richard off track. Yeah. It's all advantage Nigel for now. It's all advantage Nigel. And Nigel is trying into the last chicane, going side by side. Oh, and he did the right thing by backing off. Yep, and FaZe McBot gets the win. Cairo Racing gets P2. Let's see with regards to the others. 6-9 P3. No, 6-9 is P7. Ooh. And I've noticed that Nigel still got that P3, and Chappie Cho entered in P4. I think he has just made it work. And I believe Cairo Racing is in P5 then. Ooh, it was a little bit close at the end when it comes to the penalties consideration. So let's see. Ooh, only 300s away from Cairo Racing, who is in P2. Ooh, it was very, very, very close. Very, very close. Only 300s of a second separated Cairo Racing from Nigel, and that's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff. This is why it's important not to get any penalties in this game. And Nigel and Chappie Cho were the guys who did not get a single penalty, and that worked in favor of them greatly, especially for Chappie Cho. In my opinion, my driver of the day would be Chappie Cho, and the only reason is that he was lucky enough to pit again when the safety car happened,